settled in the South Gauteng High Court without any order being granted. Earlier, the DA's Gauteng Premier candidate, Mmusi Maimane, dismissed as unnecessary the ANC's court application for a protection order against its march to the Beyers Naude Square in the Johannesburg CBD. The DA leader, Helen Zille, will lead party members in a revised march to Beyers Naude Square to demand real jobs. Maimane says their security will not be armed. We are now joined on the line by Professor Tinyiko Maluleke to tell us more. Professor, good morning to you.
Good morning, and it's a privilege to speak to you and your viewers.
Professor, can you tell us why, in your view, do you think the ANC has applied for this protection order against the DA march?
Well, it's a little strange. I have been listening very carefully to the rationale that the ANC spokespeople have been offering. They cite the history of the DA march to Cosatu House, and they actually feel that it is a little bit unreasonable of the DA to choose to march to their offices. They have used the word provocation to describe it. And some of the ANC supporters have phoned in into talk show programs vowing to protect their headquarters. And I think it is in that forest of emotion and logic that you will find an explanation for the application to court. By the way, the DA is not itself necessarily without fault here, because if one hears about hospital beds being booked and headgear being on the ready, you would think that a war has been declared and that there's going to be a war somewhere. I think both sides, in terms of the rhetoric that has come just before the march, have not been very helpful. I think we need a little bit more political will and a little bit more political wisdom to steer the country away from the notion that a protest must, of necessity, also be violent.
Now, the ANC has not been granted the court order. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it's a bit late in the sense that it would have meant that the DA could have marched to Luthuli House. Mm-hmm. But now, as it is, my understanding is that they are marching to the Beyers Naude Square. So I think it's cold comfort for the DA, but it is a significant symbolic victory for them, but unfortunately they can't cash on it.
Was it wise, though, for the ANC to turn to the courts, you think?
I don't think so. I think that it was unwise. I also think that the rhetoric of both sides has been extremely unhelpful as far as this march is concerned.
Will it help the DA in any case, looking at black voters for the upcoming elections?
You know, I don't understand really what it is that the DA will ultimately benefit, politically speaking, from a march such as this. Other than show everyone out there that they are not afraid of the ANC and that they can march at the ANC, that they point the finger at the ANC for the jobs crisis. And of course, it's a public spectacle which perhaps could sway one or two or several hundred voters in the DA's favor. So I think if there's any benefit from the DA, it is the publicity value of this event, and of course the symbolic value of having seen the ANC fail to get a protection order against them.
Professor, thank you so much for your time. That was Professor Tinyiko Maluleke, a political analyst, giving us his views.